Chapel, or Collesha Peak, is an unofficial 2968-meter summit perched along a ridge between Mount Collie to the south and Ayesha Peak to the north. It took me 8 years, but on the second weekend of February 2022, I finally managed to ski this remote peak on the eastern edge of Yoho National Park in a day from the Bow Lake parking lot. Our route took us from Bow Lake, up the Bow Canyon, past Bow Hut, and across the Wapta Icefield between Mounts Gordon and Rhonda. After descending to the western plateau, we ascended steep east slopes to the south summit ridge, which we followed to the summit of Chapel Peak. We followed our ascent route back to the plateau, climbing back up to the main Wapta Icefield before skiing back out of the Bow Canyon and across Bow Lake to the parking lot for a 30-plus kilometer day in just under 8 hours. Witsa, Sarah, and I left the Bow Lake parking lot just as the sun started to show in the east. Conditions were icy and very fast. Travel continued to be quick and easy up the Bow Canyon on well-frozen snow and a fresh ski track from the day before. I still remember my first time up this canyon on skis in 2006 while skiing Mount Gordon in minus 30. It's a special place. There were no signs of instability or recent slides as we exited the canyon and skied up to the back of the valley under the Vulture ice cap. Witsa broke trail on hard snow up steep Abbey slopes to the Bow Hut. We entered just the hallway of the hut for a quick break out of the wind to don our harnesses for glacier travel.
Not right now.
From the hut, we followed a very icy skin track towards the Wapta headwall between St. Nicholas Peak and the Onion. There were no visible tracks up the headwall, thanks to the wind, so Witsa assumed the daunting task of breaking trail through the 1 centimeter of dust on crust. Thanks to continuing fast conditions on the main Wapta Icefield, it didn't take long for Rhonda and Gordon to become bigger and bigger as we neared the top of the western plateau between them.
Woo!
The skinless glide down to the beautiful western plateau between Collie, Chapel, Ayesha, Baker, Hable, and Rhonda was quick and pleasant despite a stiff west wind in our faces. What a day this was turning out to be. The views of Mount Collie's east face icefall with Chapel and Ayesha rising to the north were absolutely stunning. The snow and ice patterns on the plateau were mesmerizing as we skied across glistening fields of windswept snow. We continued as far as feasible without our skins until finally stopping to put them on for the ascent ahead. As we slowly approached, the northeast slope started looking steeper and steeper and started feeling it too. Wind loading is always a potential on easterly slopes in this area, and it was windy. Like being slowly boiled, the slope kept getting steeper and steeper until it got pretty serious. It's hard to capture in photos with a wide-angle lens, but there were a few zigs and a few zags that had me pretty nervous about being there.
Good job, man.
Wapta did a great job with his lead, and after a few switchbacks we were already traversing off the steep northeast slope towards a nice gentle snow arête to the south ridge. Once on the south ridge, the snow became wind-hammered and very icy, and we almost needed crampons as we continued tiptoeing to the summit on foot.
This one's a lot more fun than I expected. I thought it would be more of a bump.
Thanks to the very fast conditions, we were enjoying our summit views in less than 5 hours from the start. After a brief, unattractive stint with wind-hammered icy snow on the south ridge, we skied perfect ankle-deep powder to the top of the northeast slope beneath the imposing north face of Mount Collie.
Now it's windy here.
After skiing the steep northeast slope, it was a blast. We coasted down the western plateau under a brilliant blue winter sky, feeling pretty darn good about our day so far. We chatted and skied our way up the wind-hammered Wapta, even stopping to seriously consider taking Mount Gordon as we passed under it. There's some nice skiing down its north slopes that I hadn't seen before.
Oh yeah! Woo! Woo!
Thankfully, the headwall above the bow hut was very skiable despite being wind-hammered and a wee bit icy. I've had it much worse there.
Hey bitches! Yeah.
Skiing back above the Bow Canyon on return was a mixed bag of okay to terrible conditions, with the usual hidden sharks, breakable crust, and trees to make things interesting. Skiing down the canyon was quick and fun, with some sections requiring full attention to avoid falling in a running creek. The hill bypass to the back of the lake is always a grumpy affair without skins, so we gave up and just boot packed it. I was super psyched to finally have completed an ascent of this peak. I have many great memories from